What is going on, Full Heel Podcast? Let me turn that off real quick. How's everyone doing tonight? Thanks a lot for joining me on this Wednesday night, August 15th, 2018. Today I am joined by my buddy.
Jesus Monsoon Mendez. What's up, man? I came in a little late.
There we go. Juice. Hey, Jesus, what's going on, dude?
Not much. I'm tired as fuck, man.
All right. Good to know.
It's pretty late here on a Wednesday evening, but I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, brother. We're here talking a little bit of SummerSlam 98, so 20 years ago from SummerSlam that's going to happen this Sunday, 2018. So pretty much we're taking a trip back in time. I went back and watched this event a couple times. I don't know how many times you saw it and took notes, but we're going to get into it. How you doing, brother? I haven't seen you for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while. Last time I was here, we talked some wrestling like we always do. Actually, last time I was here, we were talking about the unfortunate passing of Brian Christopher, Jerry Lawler's son,
And Nikolai Volkov.
and of course the unfortunate passing of Nikolai Volkov. Was that it? No, Brickhouse Brown.
Brickhouse Brown, which I did not mention just because I didn't know who he was, so I wouldn't be paying tribute.
Well, so I don't know if you've heard or if you've been keeping up or whatever, but some new details have come to light. Even though there's an open investigation, Jerry Lawler's not supposed to be talking about it, but he's saying that there might be some foul play involved.
He shouldn't be talking about it, but there's a lot of details now that came out.
Yeah, because he's talking about it on his podcast, Dinner with the King. And
doesn't that fuck up everything, though?
well, yeah, they tell you not to talk about it if it's an open investigation because it will fuck shit up. But he's sharing quite a bit of information. He's saying that there might be some foul play involved. He says that the wounds that Brian Christopher received were not that consistent with what somebody who hung themselves would be. All that aside, though, I mean, I'm not trying to minimize that in any way, shape, or form, but that is quite a bit of information that he's putting out there.
Well, I read the report, I guess, or whatever the news on it was. Apparently, the choke wounds were around the sides of his neck and behind it.
Yeah,
almost as if he was trying to hold it and pull it away from his throat.
Yeah, so there was a break in that wound. Whereas if he would have hung himself and then whatever he used to hang himself with would have just stayed there, it looks like he tried to pull away the whatever was choking him.
And apparently he had gotten into a fight, I think, hours earlier before this.
Yeah, he was in a confined cell by himself.
Yeah, because of an altercation.
Yeah, so I mean, whatever happened, we hope that everything gets straightened out, and that Jerry Lawler and his family and Brian Christopher's family can find some kind of justice coming out of this.
Yeah. So from that tragedy, sadly, we jump into another tragedy that just happened this past, Monday morning?
Yeah, Monday morning. News broke that Jim the Anvil Neidhart had passed away at 62, I believe.
64, I think.
64, okay.
Yeah, R.I.P. the Anvil. I did kind of like a tribute video yesterday, just going over, like, I guess 2 key matches in his tag team formation of the Hart Foundation. I went over him and the Hart Foundation versus the Brainbusters. Where they took a loss, but it was an awesome match.
Yeah, Arn and Tully.
Yeah, Arn and Tully. The titles were not on the line. They had signed the contract to face them before Arn and Tully had the tag team titles. So the thing was, Arn and Tully could have put the titles on the line, but they didn't because Bobby the Brain Heenan was their manager, the Weasel. So
right.
it wasn't the thing for them to do. That wasn't their role.
Mm-hmm.
So, I thought they would have taken a loss. The titles weren't on the line, but no. Heenan gets involved, and Anvil and Brett dropped the match. What I was really realizing, and what I saw, is that tag team moves were a lot more weighted. And by that I mean they took a lot more effect. They were almost on the level of finishing moves. I guess they do them now, but it's just like that's their finisher and that's it. These guys had a tag team move set that led up into a finisher of sorts.
Yeah, I mean, back then, the tag team matches had a different feel to them. They flowed differently than your standard singles match. Whereas now, in my opinion, it feels like you're watching a singles match and then one guy tags the other guy in, and it's still a singles match but with different people.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's not a tag team match. And this is crazy because it's not the same Brett. It is, but we see a tag team Brett. We see a different version of Bret the Hitman Hart. And I guess because he was building into his character of Bret the Hitman Hart, which he, I guess, later developed into his more technical style, which is why he got carried so far into his career. He went from a tag team wrestler into a singles wrestler, and there was a distinct change in his wrestling style. You could see it.
Yeah, and this was definitely a key time in his evolution into what would become Bret Hart. But I mean, that's one of the and I don't want to deviate away too far from Jim Neidhart, but that's one of the things that I noticed about Bret Hart is that he's constantly evolving throughout his career.
And this kind of saved both of them, I would say, their careers. I read that Bret was given a cowboy gimmick. And Anvil, he had the USA title in the NWA organizations, but the territorial ones. But I think the highest he got to was USA champion.
Right.
And went over to WWF at the time. And really the height of his career was being tagged with Bret, wasn't it?
Yeah, being tagged with Bret as part of the Hart Foundation with Jimmy Hart as their manager.
So I would say kind of Bret's idea of tagging together kind of saved both of their careers.
Yeah, I mean, they both trained under Stu Hart, Bret's dad, in the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe Neidhart had a run in Stampede Wrestling, which was also run by Bret's dad. So there was some history there. I believe they were tagging before they made it to the WWF.
Okay.
So it just made sense to bring them in as a, because back then you would bring in a tag team, like you brought in the Road Warriors as a team. You brought in the Rockers, Shawn and Marty, as a team. Well, just like them, you brought in the Hart Foundation as a team. You didn't sign one guy and then another guy and think, hey, we don't have anything for these guys to do, put them in a tag team. That's how it works nowadays. Because if you think about it, that's how Gargano and Ciampa were. They had nothing for them to do, put them together on NXT, and then you had DIY.
They kind of did that with Sheamus and Cesaro.
Yeah, yep. Perfect example.
Once they dropped the titles, they kind of just forgot about them too. Yeah. I think they're still tagging, but I'm not sure what's going on.
It's too bad because I thought that they really evolved into a really nice
little
team.
Of their own.
Mm-hmm. They took what they were given and made it their own.
I wish the tag team titles held so much more weight after watching the events. We'll get into it. This like how it built up into Undertaker versus Austin, and like seeing how they had both of the belts. But I'll ask you that right now when we get into it. It's just R.I.P. Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Yeah.
How much do you remember of the Anvil?
So I really mostly remember his run in 1997 with the New Hart, or they weren't called the New Hart Foundation, they were called the Hart Foundation, with
the Attitude Era.
With all 5 members. Which, if you think about it, it's really unfortunate. The only one that's left is Bret. We lost Pillman, Bulldog, Owen, and now Jim Neidhart. And Bret's the only one who's still around. Hopefully he stays around.
When did
for a
Davey
while.
Boy Smith die? Earlier on, right? This was
Probably
earlier.
like in 2003, 2002.
Okay.
Yeah. But I remember.
He was in part of the Heart Foundation?
Ooh,
David
Bulldog?
Boy Smith?
Yeah,
Oh,
British
okay.
Bulldog.
Okay.
Yeah. I said Bulldog.
Okay.
I remember Jim Neidhart. I remember his work in 1997 as. I always thought of him as like what Arn Anderson did for the Horsemen. So you had Arn Anderson being the enforcer. I thought that Jim Neidhart was kind of that. He took that role because I would never really see him wrestle in the ring. I mean, he wrestled at the In Your House pay-per-view. It was called the Canadian Stampede.
Yeah.
But it was far and few in between when I'd actually see him in a match. But I definitely saw him as the powerhouse of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Even though British Bulldog was there.
No, well, yeah, 100%. Even in the matches I was watching, he was the enforcer of the matches. Tully had no effect in spots at the match. Arn had to come in, or Tully had to like do some kind of weaselly move to get because the chops to the chest, he was just standing there. He wasn't like he was running into him. Nothing Tully could do did anything to Jim the Anvil.
Right.
He was a huge dude though.
Yeah,
pretty big.
So he would definitely have been the powerhouse, and then you had Brett, who was the technical wrestler.
Mm-hmm. You know who I was thinking about?
Mm.
The Dynamite Kid.
Right.
Yeah, but he died earlier on. That's what.
No, Dynamite Kid's still alive.
Oh, he's still alive? I thought
Yeah.
he died.
No, he's still alive.
Why wasn't he part of the Heart Foundation?
I think by that point he might have been retired.
Okay.
I know he had to retire early in his career.
Due to injury?
I think he was really messed up on drugs.
Okay, I thought he died, and that's why he didn't join the Heart Foundation.
And then he had to. I think he's in a wheelchair now.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on from that.
This is getting pretty dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What championship did? Because at one point when they reestablished themselves, they were dominating faction. They held all the titles at once. He was tag champion, right? Anvil.
Anvil, I don't think was ever a champion.
He didn't get reinstated with the when the foundation came back. He came back with them, right?
They brought him back.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the only title that he ever held with and I could be wrong, with the WWF, WWE, whatever, was the tag team title with Brett.
Yeah. Was that the only time?
Yeah, but that was during his run in like the late 80s.
Mm-hmm. Well, they formed in '85, and I think they won him. They won him in '89 against Demolition. I think that might have been their second time.
Maybe.
In a 2 out of 3 in SummerSlam, '89.
Right.
Or '90. It was '90. Sorry.
After that, though, after that,
Brett went on his singles run.
Brett went on his singles run, and then Anvil was tagging with Owen.
They won championships as the new foundation. No,
yeah, the new foundation.
But they were funky as hell. Like they were.
Well, yeah, with the weird colors.
Yeah, neon green and orange and pink and like checkers on their fucking thing and zebras.
Yeah.
It was too much. It was too much deviation from the pink and black.
Right. But I guess at that point, like, what do you really do with Anvil?
Mm-hmm.
You know. Yeah, they wanted to bring Owen in, so kind of just made sense. But Owen obviously was the one who came out of that on top because he got a push
Mm-hmm.
out of all that.
Right after that as well, right?
Yeah. And then I think Anvil just quietly went away.
Start fathering kids.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, we didn't even mention he's actually Natalia's dad.
Yeah. For those people that don't know, he's Natalia's dad. Poor Natalia. She had a cancer match.
Yeah.
She's grieving right now.
Yep.
It sucks.
Yeah, it does. Losing someone like that. From what I understand, I don't know. I never watched Total Divas, but I think he was He was often featured on Total Divas.
I'm not gonna lie.
Natalia's on there.
I'm not gonna lie. I've seen a couple of episodes. I've never seen the whole season. The most I've seen 2 episodes. But the one I did see was the one where they were in Natalia's house and they showed him a lot. Well, not a lot, but in passing. And he was just like a jolly big dude.
So he was there.
Yeah, he was there. They showed him.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I heard he was, even in the back, like he was the same as he was on camera. Very charismatic, very loud, but like a good, in a good way. Not a fucking asshole. Like just, rambunctious, I guess would be the word or something.
Like lovable, rambunctious.
Yeah. Yeah, so it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
Poor Brett, too.
Yeah, I'm sure Brett is grieving as well. I think he released a statement shortly after the news broke. And that's a little scary to me that like the only one left is now Brett. And even Brett, I don't know how he is now. I know a couple of years ago he wasn't the best of health. I think he underwent some cancer treatment.
It was cancer, right? I thought it was a stroke.
Well, yeah, he's had a series
He's had
of
a
strokes.
stroke, yeah. But he did put cancer in the sharpshooter.
Yeah. And
recently. It was colon cancer, right?
I believe, yeah, you might be right. I believe it was that. And he kicked out of that, so I hope Brett can keep going on strong.
Yeah. Man, I knew I didn't like Goldberg for a reason. He did that to him, bro.
He did. And I think Goldberg has since apologized, incessantly. And I think Brett has forgiven him, but...
So I forgive him too. But see, I didn't ever like Goldberg because I was NWO for life, so...
But the problem with that was that...
And I know the NWO did the fucking whole red and black, and I get it.
Yeah. NWO was just too much.
Yeah.
But then Goldberg too, I'm not defending him, okay? Mm-hmm. I was hot and cold on Goldberg back in the day. He was very, very green, very new, wasn't sure of what he was doing, and so I think we can attribute that to him kicking Bret Hart in the head.
It's not his fault either if the company shot him out. They put him up there knowing his skill level.
Yeah, with a very limited skill set.
Because what would he come out? He would come out spear, jackhammer, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and that only works up to a point.
Yeah.
They did it for like over 100, maybe over 200 matches.
What, his record?
Yeah, where he...
It was like 160 something.
Okay, close to 200 matches. So they do that for 160 something matches. That's gonna get a little boring. Fans are gonna want to see a little bit more. And eventually you're gonna want to tease that, like, hey, Goldberg's streak might get broken.
Little side note. That number was super inflated. I think they've gone back and counted it, and it's like 60-something matches, and they've tacked down like 100.
That number was super inflated.
Yeah, he came in like with no matches, but they were saying he had a bunch or something.
But see, back in the day, it was harder to.
Yeah, of course.
Prove that.
Yeah, of course. Especially, when did he come in? 90-something, early 90s.
97, 98.
Late 90s.
98. Yeah, like. If 1 week it was one number and then the next week it was you had 5 more matches added to that, you could defend that by saying, oh, well, we had some house shows and he beat 5 people.
Yeah. So I guess we should move on. So R.I.P. Anvil.
Yes.
Go back and watch SummerSlam 89, him versus the Hart Foundation versus the Brainbusters, and then 1990 Brett and him versus Demolition. 2 good matches, 2 awesome tag team matches. If you like tag teams and tag team matches, good tag team matches, I'd recommend those matches.
Yeah, I also recommend the match that I said earlier at the Canadian Stampede in your house, the 5 versus 5, where you have the Hart Foundation versus Goldust. I believe it was Ken Shamrock, Steve Austin, and the Road Warriors.
I forgot to tell you when you asked me the breakdown. Break it down.
Yeah.
Pentagon versus Sami Callahan.
Yeah.
You sent me a link to the Slammiversary match.
Right, and last time we were together, I recommended that match.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about it.
Yeah. What did you think?
Uh,
Was it a little too much?
a little bit too much with the blood and it started off too much with as soon as he brought the spikes, I'm like, it's a little bit too much.
But okay, so
it had a good story building up. So I guess we should give a little bit of backstory to, because they gave a little bit of with the video you sent me, you gave a little backstory because I don't keep up with Impact.
Well, the thing is, part of everything is that you need to know Sami Callan's character, and I think he's a CZW guy.
Good.
So he's like a hardcore. He's got like that hardcore gimmick almost. Like he even
looks like a biker. And he comes out with like an anarchist like style.
Yeah, very
face garb.
Like if you went to an Antifa protest, he looks like something you'd see there.
Mm-hmm. It's got like a biker jacket or like a biker vest.
Yeah, and
a weird mohawk, long hair thingy, mullet. Not really a mullet, almost like long hair, but with the sides taken off.
Yeah, and so
raspy voice.
And so he has a hardcore background, like in CZW or something like a deathmatch wrestler style thing. So that's why he incorporates all that stuff from that.
Okay, it didn't click till you said it for like the sixth time. CZW.
Yeah,
it's super extreme and it's ridiculous. If you guys, I do not like this when people are like, why don't you? Oh, you like wrestling? Why don't you like or what? You watch this? And I'm like, no. And it's like, I'm like, I like pro wrestling for what it is, and I like UFC. If I want to watch real shit, because they're fucking each other up with glass and they're cutting each other up and it's real blood and they're there for that. If I want to see cuts and blood, I'll see it from technical elbows and fucking people beating the real shit out of each other.
Yeah, and even there, if you know what you're looking for, you can see some really messed up shit there.
Yeah, it doesn't tickle my fancy, I guess.
No, it's not my thing.
But it didn't click for me, and I guess it's so the fans know, because it didn't click for me until you said it for like 6 times. CCW. Dean Ambrose came from CZW.
Yes.
There's a lot of hardcore guys from CZW. I've seen. What damn? I can't. It's like escaping my mind. Like the heart. It wasn't a fork to the forehead. It was maybe a sandpaper machine that they were using on foreheads.
I've seen
the sickest
shit
shit they've done.
Where they use a weed whacker.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe it was that one. It's just
one
stupid
of those
shit.
Sawzalls.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that. Where it's.
I think they use that on Ambrose.
Yeah.
Some big fat dude.
Yep. That's the one.
And
of course, it's gimmick.
The only reason I've seen those matches is because I looked Dean Ambrose matches up when I was first watching The Shield back in the day. Yeah. So okay, that makes a lot more sense now. That's why he's dressed up like that, and that's why he's popular. Because I had no idea who he was, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Another wannabe biker tough guy. I'm like, this guy's just like a imitation Bullet Club dude.
And see, maybe that's why it's not a good idea to watch like cold.
Yeah.
Like without getting your feet wet a little bit first, because I guess Impact expects like the hardcore fan to and when I say hardcore, I mean like the fan that follows every single thing that's anything wrestling. Not like, I don't mean hardcore in the deathmatch sense. I mean hardcore in that sense. And they expect that viewer to know who this guy is.
They might have said it a lot in the intro, CZW. It just didn't click. I don't know why. And then finally when you said it, and I'm like, it clicked. I'm like, oh, okay, it's that super extreme shit.
Yeah.
And then his shit kind of made a lot more sense now because he brought out some like railroad spikes.
Yeah. And
like the nails or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was trying to hammer it into Pentagon Jr.'s head.
So Pentagon Jr. for those that don't know is AAA luchador. If not AAA, he's definitely from Mexico, but he's Pentagon Jr.
Yeah, he comes from AAA. You might have seen him on Lucha Underground.
That's where I saw him.
He had a really awesome, crazy, hardcore match with Vampiro where there were light tubes.
Mm-hmm.
I showed you that,
yeah.
right?
And I saw the one with him and like their huge dude that wears like a mask, and he had like the huge belt for a while. When he came back after the guy broke his back.
Oh yeah. I was for some reason I was thinking Mil Muertes, but it's not him.
He broke his back and like he fucked him up. It was like a crazy storyline, but like then I think Pentagon Jr. really got hurt, so he was out for a while, and then came back, and then they had their feud. But then that's kind of where I dipped off back, and because I started getting busy because we started the podcast right around that time.
Right.
So I think it was those nights that it was on, and I couldn't go back and watch it, but I lost track of time and I do other stuff.
Yeah.
So Pentagon Jr. is a badass guy. Kind of wears what would you say, like a skull mask of sorts, but like a Mexican.
It's very much a Day
pattern.
of the Dead.
Yeah, Day of the Dead
inspired.
kind of thing. Yeah.
There's elements of La Parka in there.
The mouth is cut out, and he paints it white and like gives the skull teeth on his lips and shit.
Yeah, very, very Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
And La Parka inspired.
It's a badass mask. I wouldn't mind getting him. It's actually one of my favorite. Once I saw it, I'm like, damn, that's a badass mask.
I actually want to pick up the shirt, like one of his T-shirts.
Okay.
But those are actually hard to find.
Cero miedo.
Yep,
He does that.
That's him.
No fear. Cero miedo.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of corny, but whatever.
Well, no. I mean, it is kind of corny, but he's been able to really do a lot with that.
Yeah, well, like he does have the skull mask. It's the Day of the Dead thing kind of gimmick. Well, not gimmick, but that's kind of like
his look.
Yeah, it's a style.
Yeah.
So the Cero Miedo makes sense, and then he kind of turned it into a hand gesture of sorts that people can do, and they follow him. Even his finisher, I don't see it used that much. Maybe one of the females uses it in WWE. The arm thing where it looks like
where
he snaps it back.
He's supposed to break.
Yeah,
the arm. Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure he has a more sensible finisher. I think it's the Michinoku Driver. I'm pretty sure they call it something else, but I think that's his finisher.
Right.
But he's pretty awesome. I haven't really seen him too much, but I've heard he's been jumping around. So they did a mask versus hair match because he's been Sami Callahan has been attacking Pentagon Jr. trying to take his mask, and then Sami Callahan attacked who's Pentagon Jr.'s dude, like his protege, Fantasma. Yeah, his brother.
Yeah,
Fantasma.
Mm-hmm.
And they were trying to take his mask to get Pentagon Jr.'s attention.
Yeah.
Pentagon Jr. stopped them, and they had a good storyline. Well, I only saw the build up to it, like the preview
in the
pre-match
thing.
But Callahan came out as Pentagon Jr. and fucked up Phantasmo, I think, or something like that. But then Pentagon Jr. dressed up Callahan as himself as Pentagon Jr. and these guys attacked the fake Pentagon Jr. his own dudes.
Yeah. I remember that. I thought that was really cool, actually.
And then he's like, "Get me out of here!" And then Pentagon Jr. fucking fizzles out the lights and attacks everybody.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool, actually.
So
seeing that in the pre-match video.
So I only saw bits and pieces of the promos, but it looked like it was a good story building up to it. And then they made Callahan put up his hair, which he doesn't really care about it. So it's kind of taking everything from Pentagon Jr. and nothing really from him.
Well, it's not that big of a deal here in the States, but in Mexico, hair versus mask match is a huge deal.
So the hair versus mask match that they referenced was Eddie Guerrero versus I don't remember who, but they were saying it was super monumental at that time. Did Eddie lose his mask there, or he wasn't masked and he was fighting masked luchadors at the time?
I don't think
Eddie
was ever masked in Mexico. I mean, maybe very early on in his career, but I know that in Japan he was masked. I think he was Black Tiger. He might have been Black Tiger.
Okay.
Like like Tiger Mask. He had a similar Tiger Mask style costume, except it was all black.
Okay. Because I've heard of epic matches that Eddie used to have of hair versus mask.
So he might have been putting up his own hair.
Yeah. That's what it had to have been.
Maybe.
How did Hoovy lose his mask? This is a lot further.
Chris Jericho beat him at Slamboree.
It was in WCW though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They should have kept his mask on.
Should have kept Ray's. A lot of people do not know what Rey Mysterio looks like. They're fools.
Yeah, he lost his mask in WCW too.
Yeah, it was a mistake, but he lost it.
That was a mistake, yeah.
They put it right on him like less than a year later.
No, he never brought it back.
Not in WCW.
Not in WCW. When he finally came back to WWE,
he came masked.
In like what, 04, 05?
How long did it take him?
It took him forever.
My timeline's all fucked up. I thought it was like a year later.
I think he was on the last pay-per-view that they did for and they were fighting for the newly introduced Cruiserweight tag team titles.
Did WCW do that?
They had a whole tournament.
I'm gonna go back and watch this so I can fucking talk about the grotesqueness of the last days of WCW. They had a 3-realm or a 3-level
the
cage match.
Cage match.
Oh,
where that's
garbage.
They
came up with that, right?
Yeah, I think so. That was also super offensive because they threw Canyon off of it, and it was like a month after Owen had fallen. So it was a little distasteful.
You mean...
They threw Canyon off the top of
yeah, but I forgot his alter...
Mortis?
Yeah, there we go, Mortis. We had a mask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
I have that game. I need to go back and play it. So I can remember all the old school guys.
You have Revenge?
I think so. Pretty sure I do.
Nice. It's a good game.
Yeah, it's a badass game. I like Psychosis in there too.
Yeah, they have a lot more of the luchadors in there. The Parkas in there.
Yeah. He comes out with the chair when you pick him.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Because he was the chairman.
Yeah, the chairman. Where were we? Juice.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about the Sami Callahan.
Okay, Sami Callahan, this guy. So the spikes came out, the railroad spikes. He started ripping off.
Yeah, this was a no holds barred, falls count anywhere, that sort of thing.
And they went at it, but like we said, once the nails came out, it got a little bit too bloody.
I think I didn't mind the blood so much, but I did mind that they were using an actual railroad spike.
Mm-hmm. Well, I did mind the D'Lo Brown vest that Callahan was wearing.
Okay, yeah.
Because he opened it up and then he got hit. Like before it didn't hurt, and then he opened it up and got hit. Then he closed it back up. Why is he allowed to wear a D'Lo Brown vest? For those that don't know, we will get to it right now. Once we start getting into SummerSlam.
The vest plays a part in the in D'Lo Brown's match in SummerSlam '98. I mean, that's just part of the look. That's part of the gimmick. Let me think. I was gonna bring up a point. Oh yeah, to further expand on him being the hardcore guy. A couple of months ago, maybe around February, March, he injured Eddie Edwards with a chair and a baseball bat. This was all over the place. I don't know if you saw it, but he was supposed to hit. He placed the chair over, like a folding chair opened up.
Mm-hmm.
He placed it over Eddie Edwards' head, and he missed the chair completely and hit him in the face with the baseball bat.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
How fucked up was the other guy?
Pretty bad. Like, he was out for a couple months.
Concussion, I would assume, no?
I don't think so. I think he had a broken orbital bone.
Okay. Well, you can't wrestle like that either.
No. I heard that's extremely painful.
Yeah. Well, it also depends where. On the inside's really weird, too.
Yeah.
Because you can get, like, double fractures. Like, They've had some of the UFC recently that are really bad.
Yeah.
Forgot its name. Emmett Smith. I think Emmett Smith. It's a fucking football player. Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett recently got knocked the fuck out, and he got broken orbital, and they didn't catch. They didn't catch that he had like minor fractures like all around on the inside.
Yeah.
And they just thought he was concussed, but he was kind of really fucked.
Yeah.
But he did get fixed though. He's coming back.
I've heard that's extremely painful. Like, doesn't like a broken arm is a lot less worse in terms of pain.
Yeah, bat to the head's no good.
Bat to the face.
Bat to the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that CZW is kind of crazy. Kind of crazy.
What'd you think of Callahan as a character, though?
See, I didn't like him, but then I realized he's a CZW guy today.
Okay.
Makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
I just thought he was like another tough guy, but then now I guess I would have to see him in his realm of CZW to better understand him. Mm-hmm. Because I just saw him as a crazy guy. Once I knew he was from CZW, I'm like, okay.
You know he was in NXT?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, saw him.
The first run?
This was after it was a reality show. So kind of when
Daniel Bryan?
Kind of after that. Kind of like the very early days of NXT where it was an actual wrestling show and not like a talent search show. His name was Solomon Crow.
Solomon Crow?
Yeah.
It's pretty weak sauce.
But I don't know. At first, I'm right there with you. I didn't like Sami Callahan, especially after he totally botched the bat to the chair thing. But seeing him a little more, I can kind of get into his character. I don't mind him as much as I did.
Mm-hmm. Pentagon Jr. picks up the victory, keeps his mask after it was torn. Dude, they bloodied the fuck out of each other.
Yeah.
Those spikes.
That was it was a really stiff. It looked like a really stiff match. But they were really hitting each other kind of hard.
So at one point they were grabbing the spikes, and Callahan was, and hammering it with a bat into each other's head, making it look like it. I don't know if it was real.
I mean, really obviously, bloody. I don't think it was that real.
Yeah, they would have fucking died.
Yeah, which is why I didn't like the idea that they used a railroad spike, because then that doesn't blur the lines as much. Because if this motherfucker was really trying to hammer that in with the bat, it would have gone in.
Yeah. Why didn't he just break his orbital like he did to the other guy?
I think he's learned by now.
It was an awesome match. I think they could have taken a lot more. Well, see, that now that you say he's from CZW, it makes a lot more sense. At first, I was like, I could do a lot more without this hardcore stuff. And I wanted a lot more of Pentagon Jr.'s luchador style versus Callahan's. But I guess that's his style.
Yeah, that gritty street fight,
hardcore,
hardcore style.
So now that it just makes more sense now.
I kind of liked the fusion of the two. I mean, there was definitely a little bit of there was some lucha in there. Mm-hmm. There was some high flying. It wasn't overbearing. It was a good mix. It was a good fusion of the two styles.
A lot of selling. Well-deserved selling. I'm not going to say it's the best selling ever.
Yeah.
But
I think they worked really well together.
Yeah, because there was a lot of reactions that they had to give from hitting each other with those objects.
Right.
And selling them. Making it look real and not just recovering right away from taking the spike to the head, as fake as it is.
Right.
So, good match. I would definitely look that match up. Thanks for sending me a link on that.
Yeah. Maybe I should send you another one.
Maybe. From Slammiversary, I heard all the matches were pretty good.
All the matches on the show were actually pretty good. I recommend the Brian Cage versus Matt Sydal match for the X Division title.
All right.
Actually, it's funny that you brought up Mortis earlier because Brian Cage at one point was doing the Mortis gimmick.
Who?
Brian Cage.
Who the hell's Brian Cage?
The guy that Matt Sydal faced.
Okay.
Oh,
the match that you're trying to get me to watch.
Yeah. On Chris Canyon's blessing, he got to do the Mortis gimmick for a little bit in the independent scene.
Nice.
But yeah, that match was good. There was a lot of good stuff on that show. I can send you some stuff. This whole year, I think, at least the first half of the year, because I've only seen up until June, a lot of TNA's content has been okay. Has been better than it's been in years.
I heard Slammiversary was the best pay-per-view this year so far. By far.
That's a little, like, for them? Or
out of
overall?
everybody, overall.
That's a little debatable.
Well, the groups I'm in, I guess they make the most noise, those fans of those organizations.
Right.
And I guess they just talk the most shit and be like, Slammiversary was the best show this year. Really depends on what you like, right?
That's a little debatable.
Wrestle Kingdom wasn't the greatest this year.
It wasn't bad though.
It wasn't bad. No, it wasn't bad. But
Dominion was really good.
Yeah, but the year before that, you had fucking Okada versus Omega.
Yeah, but this year you had Jericho
versus that was a badass match too.
Yeah, and
Jericho's revival.
Dominion was really good, where you had was it Hiroshi Tanahashi and Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental belt.
Is that where Jericho won it?
Yeah.
Or was he defending?
No, he won it that.
Okay.
But that was a really
was that a punch in the gut to Vince McMahon because The Miz had tied Jericho for the most Intercontinental Championships? So
I don't know if there's any politics behind it.
Yeah. No, you don't think so?
Probably not. I mean, I don't think Jericho's like that. I don't know him to be like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I don't know. I was gonna say I'm sure Vince doesn't like that Jericho's doing that, but who knows? Maybe he does.
I don't think he would do anything about it. If anything, he'd probably bring him in and work him into winning another Intercontinental Championship.
I don't think Jericho cares
about
what Vince McMahon thinks about what he's doing. Like, I think if Jericho wants to go do something, he's not gonna, and they don't want him to. He's not gonna let that stop him.
Yeah. That cruise.
Yeah.
Seems sick. I think Pentagon Jr.'s on it.
I think he is.
There's a lot of matches that are sick on that cruise. All In seems to be pretty awesome too. I think when is it? September.
Is that Labor Day weekend?
Is it?
It might be.
I think you have to come so we can watch it. We're talking about getting it and watching it.
Yeah, I might be done for that. I wanted to go, but I mean those tickets were insanely difficult to get.
Good luck.
Yeah. Good
luck. So let's talk about SummerSlam 20 years ago. SummerSlam 1998.
Yeah.
There was 3 matches that I did not know about till I just brought up the match list. So I watched this like 2 times, but Too Much, I guess, was before they were too cool.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Brian Christopher and Scotty 2 Hotty.
These are dark matches.
Yeah, these were the dark matches.
So this was on, or no, this was on Sunday Night Heat. This was on Sunday Night Heat. Because back in the day, Sunday Night Heat was on MTV. On Sundays when they would have pay-per-views, you could watch Sunday Night Heat. That was technically like a pre-show.
Mm-hmm. So it's like NXT right now. So NXT records their dark matches, and then they show them the next week as a collaboration with highlights from the main show.
Well, this would have been live.
Okay.
This would have been live. It would have been in the same, because for SummerSlam they were in Madison Square Garden, so this would have been at the Garden.
Just earlier,
and this would have been broadcast on MTV.
Led into the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this would go on from like 6 to 7. At 7 o'clock on Heat, they would say, "Yeah, we're gonna switch over to pay-per-view," and then you would pick up on pay-per-view.
All right. So these dark matches I didn't know about.
Well, the matches on Sunday Night Heat were Too Much and LOD 2000, which was the Road Warriors rebranded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legion of Doom.
Yep. Just rebranded.
What a rush.
With a gimmick for the millennial. I wonder... Okay, I was going to say I wonder if they had Sonny as their manager at that time. But no, this is way past that.
With
they have
Draws,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, Darren Draws.
Looks like it was a squash match for LOD. They took it real quick. 2 minutes. 14 seconds.
Yeah.
Gangrel took on Dustin Reynolds. So this is before the Gold? No.
No, so he did Goldust and then something weird called the artist formerly known as Goldust, where he would come out wearing weird shit like lingerie and just all sorts of weird shit. And he'd paint his face all weird.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I remember that. It was short-lived, wasn't it?
It might have been.
I remember.
Yeah, it was, because then he went into... Actually, I don't remember why he stopped doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do remember that he stopped doing it and he went to his old look from WCW when he was the Natural. And so he would come out looking like the Natural, except he wasn't called the Natural. He was just called Dustin Reynolds.
I think they shit on him too. He had a good gimmick and they didn't use it.
With Goldust or the Natural?
The Natural.
Oh yeah,
from
I
WCW.
agree. I'm surprised that you actually think that.
Well,
like I would think that you would think that's a really bland gimmick, but no, it's actually really good, and you're right. That's surprising.
The thing is, I like it because it has a history, and he showed that he was a good wrestler and he was getting over with the crowd, and I don't think he had a chance
without explicitly saying that he's Dusty Rhodes' son.
Yeah, but everyone knew.
Everyone knew, yeah.
But I always thought the WWF kind of had something against
that whole family.
The whole family. I've always thought that.
Oh man, if you think about it, they even did it with Cody.
Yeah, they made him Stardust.
I kind of feel like Stardust was Cody's idea, though.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then when he wanted to drop it, they wouldn't let him.
I could see that.
At least I think that's what happened.
Yeah, so Dustin Reynolds, bro.
Yeah.
Takes the L to Gangrel. This is before they formed the Ministry and everything, right?
Yeah, before they were the Brood, before they were the Ministry. Yeah, this was definitely pre-Brood because
he's definitely showering people with blood, though.
No.
At this time, no?
No, this is before that. I think Gangrel was just
a vampire dude.
Yeah, he was
guy.
He was pretty new to the roster at this time.
Dude, he's probably got to be one of the ugliest people ever.
Like he doesn't, like he's ugly?
Yeah, like he's damn ugly. Like his face is... I'm not saying like I'm a model or anything, but that guy's just like... He's got a giant head. He's got a weird smile even without the teeth. His eyes are kind of bulging. Looks like he's always red.
He's a vampire.
I guess.
I didn't know vampires were supposed to be hot. I'm not talking about like Twilight vampires either. I mean, these are real vampires. Twilight vampires are stupid.
Should I watch those Twilight series movies?
No.
I've never seen one of them.
I've never seen them, but I can tell you they're pretty terrible.
You've seen them. You got a girlfriend.
Yeah, I swear I haven't seen them.
Oh, shit. Why? I don't know where the mic is.
I've heard, though.
What? No, you've seen them. You got a girl.
I know the premise of them.
Yeah, you got a girl. You've seen them.
I know the premise, and I know I don't want to...
You've seen The Notebook.
I have seen The Notebook.
You've seen Twilight, then.
I've never seen Twilight.
Yeah.
Hey,
you don't gotta lie to me. Hey!
If I'm willing to admit that I saw The Notebook, why would I deny seeing Twilight?
I don't know. You tell me. You tell me.
I don't know. Watch them if you want. Then I don't care.
All right.
And then tell me.
All right, I'll watch them. I'll tell you.
And then tell me. Hey, I got a hard on for the werewolf dude.
All right. Well, Gangrel takes the W. Short match.
Yeah, in 2 minutes 32 seconds.
Yeah, squash match. Squash match.
See, they had to have short matches because the idea of a Sunday Night Heat before a pay-per-view was for anyone who was kind of on the fence, like, I kind of want to spend the money to see this pay-per-view, but I don't. The idea is, like, you watch the Sunday Night Heat, and then you're like, okay, I'm sold.
All right.
So that's why they had to have short matches.
The third dark match, the Disciples, the DOA, Disciples of Apocalypse, 8-Ball and Skull with Paul Ellering take on Bradshaw and Vader. This is before Bradshaw was with his fucking chaps and everything, and his whip.
He was with the chaps, and he was Justin Hawk Bradshaw here.
Okay,
that's funny.
Okay, then he had his chaps here.
Yeah, that's Justin Hawk Bradshaw.
so him and Vader were just kind of teamed together.
I think they just stuck them together because they had nothing to do.
Definitely, because it's kind of weird that DOA picks up the win in this one.
Yeah, it looks like at this point the DOA is just like they don't have Crush, they don't have the other guy who looks like Crush, the fake Undertaker. What's his name? Brian Lee.
Okay.
Brian Lee. They don't have Crush or Brian Lee here. It's just 8-Ball and Skull, who are you might know them in WCW as the Harris Brothers. They were also in TNA. They're the bald dudes. No.
That was the last dark match of the day or the night. No, sorry. Moving on.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Fourth match. They're the opener of the pay-per-view. D'Lo Brown versus Val Venus for the European Championship.
Yeah. D'Lo Brown is the champion here.
He came out to the Nation of Domination song, so he's with the Nation.
Yeah, at this point, the Nation of Domination is still a thing. They build him from being from Helsinki, Finland.
He's from Chicago.
Yeah, but that's what they build him.
Yeah, Helsinki.
He's the European champion, so he's got to be from Europe.
Oh my God, is that what the gimmick was at the time? You had to be out of Europe.
He explicitly said.
Okay.
Because I remember this. He explicitly said, like on a Raw, when he won the title, that he's European.
King did mention it a bunch. He was making it a point that he was from Europe.
Yeah, like at the beginning of the match. Jerry Lawler.
Yes.
You were mentioning that. At one point, D'Lo goes to the top. I don't know what he does, but he ends up dropping himself on his back, and it looks kind of rough.
Yeah.
There were a lot of spots in this match that looked kind of rough.
Seeing Val Venus in action was hilarious. I hadn't seen him in years do his thing, the money shot.
Yeah, it's such a throwaway gimmick. Like, 20 years later, he was pretty cool back in the day. But now you see him, and it's like, God damn, that's cheesy as fuck.
But it was so popular, and I thought.
No, I thought he was awesome back then.
I think people still think Val Venus is awesome.
But
no.
I don't know about that. 20 years later, it doesn't age well. It's like, and I'm not trying to be politically correct here. I'm just saying it's cheesy as fuck.
It's definitely a joke gimmick. No one ever is gonna put a fucking higher than Intercontinental or something like that on him.
Yeah. Like, I guess if you try to do that today, it wouldn't get over.
No, not today. At that time, it worked because of the Attitude Era.
Yeah. And we should mention that
Hello, ladies.
This is right in the middle of the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Like right during the very long peak.
Nation's at full strength. They might have kicked off Farouk at this time, but The Rock's in charge.
Yeah, Farouk is definitely not on this. This is right at the very long peak area of the Attitude Era. And what a different landscape. Because a year ago, you had Bret Hart and The Undertaker in a main event match.
Mm-hmm.
Bret Hart was still there.
Yeah.
And a year later, it's a completely different main event scene. At one point, D'Lo catches Val Venus in midair, and turns it into a powerbomb. I thought that looked a little impressive.
Yeah, they were playing up D'Lo's size a lot more than I remember him being. Like, especially in this match, he was the bigger guy out of him and Val.
Yeah, I actually ended up thinking like D'Lo to me looked like the face in this match. Val Venus came out the heel.
Yeah.
But to your point, D'Lo looked bigger because of that vest.
That vest. So he had a chest injury, right?
A legitimate, like pec tear, maybe?
Okay. And he got to wear it.
He had to wear it to wrestle. And then they made him keep it. At one point, Jim Ross, I think, says that somebody in the nation reinforced it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And even though he's been cleared to wear it, he's still wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
Or been cleared to not have to wear it. He's still wearing it.
And at one point, Val takes it from him because I think he hit him with the money shot and it didn't work, right?
So Val did the money. He went to the top rope to the money shot. D'Lo blocked it because he got his knees up.
Okay.
D'Lo, man, this was awful because D'Lo went for a powerbomb and he dropped Val on his head. And
the old Kevin Nash jackknife.
No, like he tried to pick him up and he was like, I don't know if he lost his grip or what, but he had him up and he was gonna do D'Lo's signature move was a running powerbomb.
Okay.
He was gonna do the running powerbomb and he picked up Val.
I thought it was a frog splash.
No, it was a frog splash and the running powerbomb.
Have to.
So he picks him up, and it looks like he's losing his grip, and just drops him on his head.
Nice, that's the way to do it.
And right away I thought, God damn, don't do that to Darren Drozdov.
To Val?
No, because that's how Darren Drozdov got paralyzed.
Okay.
The same, probably very close to what happened here is what happened to him. He got dropped on his head.
Yeah, shouldn't be joking. Some people don't come out as lucky.
Yeah, that's not a good situation.
Yeah.
He was doing a running powerbomb. I think the mat was wet, and he dropped Darren Drozdov on his neck.
We got a message. Cameraman 001 asked if didn't he get his dick chopped off, Val Venus? Yes, by the Takamichi
Yeah,
and.
but I had that already happened. I think that had already happened at this point.
Had it?
Yeah, I think it did. I'm pretty sure it did.
I don't know. But Val comes out victorious by stealing the vest and using it for himself.
Yeah, total heel move, man.
Yeah. You got to do what you got to do, bro.
And then, the match got thrown out.
Did it? Oh, yeah, it was disqualification.
Yeah, what the hell am I doing green with you here?
I don't know. I'm high.
The match gets thrown out because Val shoves the ref.
Oh, yeah.
After the ref made Val crouch himself when he was going to the when he was going for the money shot with the
vest. Yeah, he grabbed his leg and he fell.
Yeah, so then referee Jimmy Corderas throws out the match, and then
even though it was his fault, he fucking fucked with Val.
Yeah, so Val goes and gives referee Jimmy Corderas the money shot.
Yeah, there we go.
Val doesn't look good. He comes off heelish.
And they're saying that he's gonna get fined.
Yeah.
So.
I hated this next match.
Yeah, Kai
and Tai versus the Oddities.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but they cut out the Oddities entrance because their theme song is by Insane Clown Posse.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they can't use it.
Okay.
Or else they would have to pay ICP royalties.
I guess.
And nobody wants to do that.
No, no one wants to do that, yeah.
Hey, we should go to a gathering.
No, don't even joke around with that stuff.
I'm going to bring some Fago next time.
Dude, you're not allowed in this house. It's funny because I have this ongoing joke with Jeff because Jeff's from Michigan.
Yeah.
And the Juggalos are from Michigan.
Oh, man, is he a Juggalo?
I say he is. I heard they started in his hometown.
Oh, man.
He doesn't want to admit it. And he keeps trying to say I'm a Juggalo. I'm like, dude, I'm from Chicago. That shit doesn't happen here.
We should make a meme of Jeff.
Oh,
but like
You know what?
He's that dude sitting at the table. Like, you Photoshop his face into that dude's body who's sitting at the table with the sign. He says, "I'm a juggalo. Change my mind."
Okay, I see.
Do it.
Well, I could just get a
Make it
picture of
happen.
him and put him in clown makeup.
That too.
You know what I did tell him, though? I sent him a picture of Doink, and I told him if I ever were to be a fucking
Juggalo.
that's my makeup.
Yeah.
I don't think they're allowed to use colors, though, are they?
I don't know. I don't know Juggalo folklore
It's folklore?
or whatever the fuck.
I've never really seen one with like a colorful display of clown makeup.
Well, no, because ICP doesn't use color in there.
Mm-hmm.
Do they? Fucking magnets.
I don't know.
How do they work?
I don't know. Magnets. Let's move on before we fucking are. I don't know.
ICP was here. They were in their corner.
Did you go?
No, I'm saying they were in the corner of the oddities.
Oh,
in this
okay.
match.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't see them.
I unfortunately saw them. They were there.
Okay. We can skip this match, but
Did you know Golga, the dude with the mask? Did you know that's Earthquake?
yeah, and he's Cartman.
Yeah, he carries a Cartman doll.
Yeah, the oddities are just
I don't know.
it's weird. It was like that guy that came from that militarized group.
Kurgan?
Yeah, he's just like really awkward. He looks like a Frankenstein-esque guy.
He was in 300. He
And
does movies now.
Okay. Who was he in 300?
I think they CGI'd him
Okay.
into like some big dude. The other guy, Giant Silva, is a New Japan guy or an All Japan guy. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, Golga is Earthquake. I think at this time he was trying to make a comeback as Earthquake, but they gave him this.
He had very small success with this. Small, like he was popular.
He
I
was
guess.
over as part of the group,
Yeah.
but I really think he would have liked it if he didn't have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
I think this was just this was a comedy match at best.
Yeah. And it was a handicap match
Yeah, you had
that went on too long.
Yeah, it was just basically a showcase of the small Japanese cruiserweight style guys versus the Giants. Of course, the oddities were the Giants win it. I thought that finish was kind of cool, where the two Giants choke slammed all four of the guys at once, and then you had Golga pin all four of them at once. I thought that was kind of cool. That was a very visually impressive thing, I guess.
Shitty match still.
It was a shitty match. I kind of tuned out.
Yeah. Oddities win. And then the sixth match on the card, we had X-Pac versus Jeff Jarrett. Another hair match.
Yeah, this is a hair versus hair match.
Yeah.
So
why were these guys feuding?
I don't know the whole story. I think at this time Jeff Jarrett's he's playing the heel. He's kind of being the dick heel.
Okay, now I remember.
So I think he started shaving people's heads, maybe?
Yeah, and he got Howard Finkel.
He got Howard Finkel on Heat earlier that night. So Jarrett shaved Finkel's head. Jarrett comes out with Southern Justice, Dennis Knight, and Mark Canterbury, who were formerly the Godwins.
Mm-hmm.
And then X-Pac comes out with Howard Finkel in a TX shirt.
Yeah.
And Howard Finkel's hilarious.
Yeah, he's so uncoordinated with the
so awkward.
with the X chops and
yeah.
it's bad. It's bad, guys.
It's kind of cringy, but it's funny. It's like if you were to see your grandpa up there doing that. It's hilarious.
It's pretty bad. X-Pac takes the victory.
Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
There wasn't. Let me see here. There wasn't a whole lot of notable.
X-Pac has his own unique
spots.
style. With the kicks and the backward kicks and like the martial art aspects that he tries to incorporate that no one did. So
it's very 1, 2, 3 Kid, but with a little bit of a twist.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you were like if the 1, 2, 3 Kid was a Coke. X-Pac was a 1-2-3 Kid. That Coke with like some scotch.
Okay.
So.
Because he was on all the drugs.
Well, yeah, there was also that. At one point, I don't know if you saw this, but X-Pac goes for the Bronco Buster, and Jarrett blocks with a low blow kick, but the camera doesn't get it, so it's kind of like, what the hell just happened there?
Okay.
And you kind of have to figure it out. I don't know if you saw that.
No,
I
don't remember that.
A little interesting because how confusing it was. Finkel takes a bump in this match after Jarrett hits him.
Like a cocaine bump?
No.
Oh, you mean like a wrestling bump?
Yeah,
okay.
like a wrestling bump, which could also be a cocaine bump. Yeah. X-Pac hits a shitty X Factor. I don't think Jarrett knew how to sell it. And then covers Jarrett. Jarrett kicks out. But then after some fuckery with Southern Justice, X-Pac gets the guitar away from one of them and then hits Jarrett over the head with it, like kind of like the Drifter.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that ends the match. X-Pac wins it. They have to hold him down to shave his hair. The Clippers jam, and then he asks for scissors.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they give Jarrett really shitty haircut.
Yeah.
And then, like, the next night on Raw, he comes out with the buzz cut that he would have rocked for the next, like, 10 years.
Sable takes on Mark Merrow and Jacqueline with a special tag partner.
Yeah, so...
Mark Merrow used to have Sable as his partner, right?
Yeah.
Or his manager, sorry.
Yeah, so when Merrow came in, Sable was his manager. Well, Sable started as Triple H's manager when he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And then I think there was like a whole storyline around it where Merrow basically won Sable from Hunter. And I think then shortly thereafter he won the Intercontinental title. But yeah, after that they were paired together. She functioned like that of a valet manager type thing. So then at some point I guess they separated them. I think this match and the overall their overall effort to get Sable over killed Merrow's career.
Yeah.
This whole thing was designed to get her over. And I think that Jacqueline could probably kick Sable's ass in real life.
Jacqueline's tough.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame Jacqueline.
Yeah.
Sable's mystery partner was Edge, like a super young Edge. Is this before he was even tagging with Christian?
Yeah, he was probably maybe less than a month into his run.
Damn.
Yeah. Did you see the promos they're saying earlier?
No, the theme. I just thought it was the theme song.
No, it's their vignettes leading up to his debut.
Okay, I didn't see it.
Interesting.
Damn, I should have seen it.
You should have seen it.
Yeah.
We're talking about it.
Sorry, you should have explained it to me. I thought it was just a Titantron.
I thought you watch everything I send you.
Well, I didn't see that one because I assumed it was the Titantron. I'm like, why? And I was confused too. I'm like, why is he sending me Edge's music?
Okay, you're gonna have to watch them.
Yeah.
After this.
Mm-hmm. So a month.
Probably a month or less. I don't really think this did anything for Edge. Like I said, this was designed to get Sable over.
No, I didn't have time to watch it today. You sent it today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I made hamburgers for everybody.
Nice.
In the kitchen, super messy.
Well, not for me, but...
Not for you. But they were super messy because of all the fat flying everywhere.
Okay.
So we had to mop, clean the stove, wash dishes. They're delicious, though. I made some grilled onions, too.
Well, I wouldn't know because you give me it.
Yeah, fuck you, though.
I had to eat it.
Hey, you got your girl, tell her to cook for you. Right now I'm on lockdown mode. I have the house on lockdown. I'm holding it down. My parents are in Mexico. Yeah, I'm holding down the fort. So I've been doing that. Like you said, this was all a ploy to get Sable over, which she did get over, but it wound up killing Mark Merrow.
Yeah, because I think she even pinned him.
Yeah.
And so put yourself in another wrestler's position where they want you to job to Mark Merrow. Like, are you gonna want that? Like, he got pinned by Sable. I'm not gonna job to that guy.
And beat up by Jacqueline. So there was a lot of times where Sable was moving and Jacqueline was hitting him, and then she even dropped and hit him in the nuts. Jacqueline. And then I forgot who got her Frankensteiner by Sable. It might have been Mark. And then there was a tag team move done with Edge and Sable, which pinned Mark.
Yeah, like Edge picked up Sable and like splashed her on Mark, and then she got the pin.
Yeah.
Didn't really do anything for Edge. I don't think he did anything noteworthy in here. But again, he was still fairly new to the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So all this match did was kill Mark Merrow's career, which I don't know. I mean, he was
he a boxer?
He had a boxer gimmick. Before that, he was the Wild Man, and
The Wild Man.
I think the best gimmick he ever had was Johnny B. Bad, where it was like a Little Richard style gimmick, and he would come out.
Johnny, go.
He would come out with a Bad Blaster, which was like this gun that shoots confetti. Have you never seen this?
No.
Oh man.
Let's see.
I'm gonna have to send you that.
So, like we said, Mark Merrow gets pinned by Sable. Next match was an octagon match, like a cage match. Ken Shamrock
I really want to see your thoughts on this.
Versus Owen Hart. Well, like, dude, I'm an MMA fan, but this is horrible. Like, this
I feel like this is what WWE thought UFC was.
Yeah. Dude,
but
like,
they were so far from it.
You're WWE. Why don't you should have let this guy go to the top. You should have let them do a bunch of shit. Maybe even fight on the outside.
I think they should have just had a cage match in the ring.
Mm-hmm. We'll see if they're going to do that and have the Lions Den. I say they could have fought anywhere and everywhere, but you had to pin him in the Lions Den or something, and it was like a hardcore match. Because to me, that cage actually limited what they could do. Because they couldn't go outside, they couldn't do anything, and then they really couldn't use it either that much.
I think that they would have benefited more from a actual cage match, like in the ring, an in the ring cage match.
But I think it's exactly what you said. It was WWE's idea of
what
UFC is.
Yeah, and the interesting thing to me, and I think I don't remember where I heard this. I might have heard this on a podcast a long time ago with a former writer. His name escapes me at this time. But one of the interesting things was where this match was actually held. It wasn't actually held in Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
This was held, I think it was described like an annex, or maybe even a downstairs area where they have a theater. So it's like a much smaller venue, but it's not actually in the arena where everything else was being held. This was held like in a basement, and it was packed. So I wonder if they actually sold seats there with the idea of like you'll be in the arena, but you'll be watching everything on a screen. So I thought that was a little interesting, just the venue itself that they chose to have this taking place in, as opposed to the actual Madison Square Garden arena. I mean, from what I understand, that's weirdly laid out as it is for a wrestling show.
I think at that time, getting together the cage and setting it up and then deassembling it. I know right now they have like a really fast setup for. Well, they don't even do it. Well, I don't know if they.
Well, it's their overall production is very seamless. Very, they've almost got it down to a science.
But at that time, I don't know how good they would have been, especially for cages.
This was a one-off match. I mean, they
had but they had the year before.
To put that structure together somewhere.
They had it before though.
The Lions Den?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
It was Shamrock versus someone else the year before, I'm pretty sure, or like before that versus Severn.
Oh yeah.
That's why it was created.
Yeah, I remember.
It was Shamrock versus Severn, I think. And that's why it was created.
This fucking thing had like 12 or 13 sides. This was not an octagon.
It was a stupid cage.
Yeah, this was like a dodecagon or whatever the fuck that's called.
Yeah. Ken Shamrock had nobody. Owen Hart had Dan Severn coaching him.
Yeah. I think Dan Severn like tried to teach him some. What did he teach him? Like a. It wasn't a. Was it like a guillotine maybe?
I think that's what he was saying. That was going to teach him. So for people that don't know and that are like, what the hell are you guys talking about? Dan Severn and Ken Shamrock are MMA fighters that went into pro wrestling. Dan Severn is actually an NWA champion. He never became WWE champion. I don't think so.
He didn't really do a whole lot with WWE.
No, he didn't. This was one of the things, losing to Ken Shamrock in a Lions Den match. But this was, I'm pretty sure, Ken Shamrock's creation, because he later went on to call his gym the Lions Den. So,
yeah, I mean, you're right. He like Ken Shamrock probably wanted to do this. He probably thought this would look cool. It would give wrestling fans a glimpse into what MMA actually was.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, what it is now and what it was then, it's a little different. I mean, back then it was very Wild Westish, where like there wasn't a whole lot of enforcement of rules or stuff like that. So I think he just wanted to find a bridge for the fans, for wrestling fans. I don't know what you think.
yeah, I think they were trying to find that bridge. I don't know if they clicked. Ken Shamrock was popular, but
It didn't click for me. I mean,
we're trying to do it now.
Ken Shamrock's name alone is what like intrigued me into the UFC of that time.
Mm-hmm. They're trying to do it now with that chick.
DeVille?
Yeah, DeVille. Ronda Rousey's over here.
Oh man! Recently, somebody, who was it at the Performance Center?
There's more MMA people.
Yeah.
King Velasquez was
There we go. That's what I was thinking.
But I mean, like, there's more people coming in with like that gimmick, that a fighter gimmick, and it's like, and they're incorporating a lot more submissions. They're doing the crossover right.
Yeah.
Oh, and sorry, the women for Mae Young Classic are like black belts in like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and shit, or like brown belts.
Okay. So they're kind of, maybe this is like, at least with all the modern stuff, this is probably like a the beginning stages of maybe like a hybridization. But yeah, for this match, I don't know that I liked so much the match itself. I would have been more invested.
I don't like it.
I would have been more invested in a
Regular match?
in a regular cage match.
Oh yeah, like you were saying. I was saying regular match, but yeah, regular cage match would have been a lot better.
There wasn't anything that notable. Owen Hart starts bleeding from mouth. Shamrock at one point does this.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you good, man?
Yeah, it was
You just bumped the mic.
I was scratching my eyes.
Yeah, right.
This is off.
Shamrock at one point jumps off of the side of the cage into like a crossbody almost.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I didn't really think there was anything that notable in this match. Owen hits that like, I don't remember if it was I don't think it was a guillotine, but he does something that's like a guillotine, I guess. I don't even think he was doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
Which Shamrock counters into, I think, a triangle, and then from there goes into the ankle lock.
Yeah, I just remember it was the ankle lock in that weird ass, stupid structure.
Yeah. Shamrock wins it.
Yeah. Let's see. The New Age Outlaws versus Mankind. I don't know why Kane didn't come out with Mankind.
Yeah, there was a storyline building there, I guess. They were gonna lead off into Kane versus Mankind.
It definitely did that though.
Yeah.
At the end, Mankind definitely gets taken out 2-on-1. No disqualification match. Really nothing he can do. He's getting beat up. They don't have the tag, and they could use weapons. At the end of the match, Mankind gets thrown in the dumpster. Kane's in the dumpster and he comes out and hits him with a sledgehammer. So I'm pretty sure it does lead into some kind of feud between them.
This match was a little confusing in terms of psychology, like who's the heel, who's the babyface. You had Mankind, who cut a pretty good promo earlier in the show.
Mm-hmm.
So he, at this point he's pretty over with fans. And you have the New Age Outlaws who are over as hell with the fans. So it's like,
well, DX is super over at this time.
So it's like, who's the babyface, who's the heel? In terms of that dynamic, it was a little confusing.
New Age Outlaws become tag team champions.
Because they beat the hell out of Mankind.
Yeah. Triple H versus The Rock in a ladder match.
Yeah, this is considered one of the best ladder matches.
That's it right there.
Well, why don't you bring it down? Show it to the camera.
They're all right.
No, they don't need to see that?
Nah, they don't need to see that. Okay. He's over there. He's on the side.
Do you want to tell them what it is?
It's The Rock with the Intercontinental Championship and the yellow ladders they were using at SummerSlam 98.
It's a really cool action figure from Ringside Collectibles.
Yeah. $25. You have to order from their website.
Yeah. I don't think
exclusive.
It's available anymore.
No, you can't get it anymore.
This is considered one of the best ladder matches of the newer Attitude Era. They name dropped Razor Ramon. I don't know if you heard.
I think I missed it. You had heel Rock versus face Triple H.
Yeah.
DX, like we mentioned, DX super over at the time. Nation of Domination is the heel faction.
Yeah, they were doing a whole DX versus Nation of Domination. This is when DX dressed up as Nation of Domination and
blackface.
Yep, they did the blackface. They had that guy, what was Owen Hart, saying he's not a nugget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome feud. I think we've gone over this. We definitely covered this.
We might have.
The Nation of Domination.
We definitely have.
We definitely covered this. This was an awesome match. I think The Rock was winning a lot of the match. He was the one mostly going up for the title, getting pushed off by Triple H.
He definitely got very, no pun intended, very elevated in this match. He came out looking better.
Yeah.
Way more elevated. Way more star power coming out of this.
I wouldn't say it was back and forth either. I think The Rock had a lot more dominating, or had a much more dominating performance as far as controlling of the match.
I think that the point of this match was to make The Rock look stronger, and I think that this match really got that point across.
Because I can only remember times of The Rock attacking Triple H's leg with the ladder, using chairs to attack the leg of Triple H, and it was mostly that story. The Rock attacking the leg, Triple H trying to coming back, stopping The Rock from almost getting the belt,
yeah,
and then The Rock going back to work on the leg.
Yeah.
And then The Rock even hit the people's elbow on the ladder, hit the Rock bottom, but then I forgot exactly how he got beat, but Mark Henry hit Triple H with weightlifting dust in the eyes.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. At this point, I was kind of falling asleep. So. Not because this match sucked or anything, but because I was tired.
Oh, okay, now I know why. So Triple H was going for it, like all blinded, and then Chyna low blowed The Rock when The Rock was on the opposite side of the ladder. She got him with the low blow. The Rock fell. Triple H grabbed the belt.
Yeah.
And The Rock was trying to climb up again.
Yeah.
It was close. Awesome match.
Yeah, this was definitely an awesome match. It definitely lives up to its reputation of being one of the better ladder matches of the Attitude Era.
Yeah, I should open up that figure so I can get the yellow ladder, the sunglasses, and the purple strapped Intercontinental title.
I mean, you can. It's an exclusive, but whatever.
Yeah.
Sounding all snob.
Well, you can't. Last match, main event. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Undertaker, and I got a couple questions. So, the Smoking Skull belt.
Yeah.
Was it presented to Austin, or is that Austin's own creation brought in by him?
As far as I remember, it's his own belt that he brought in.
Because I've looked for stuff and I can't find its debut. It's not on Wikipedia. I've looked for the Smoking Skull belt. I looked for the lineage. I looked for the WWE lineage through the years, and all I know is it is referenced there.
I'm pretty sure, like if you look it up, like Smoking Skull Belt Stone Cold podcast.
Yeah.
He might have talked about it himself.
Okay.
Maybe that might show a little bit of insight. But you're absolutely right, because I don't actually remember the actual origin. I think he just showed up with
I went on YouTube, and so what the Smoking Skull Belt debut is him coming out to Undertaker with the 2 tag titles. And this is what I wanted to reference to earlier as well at the tag team division. You had the World Heavyweight Champion also as the tag champion, giving so much weight to these champions. Not only were they heavyweight champion, but they wanted to acquire the tag team championship as well. Yeah. Tag teams were very valued at that time. Not only did you want to be a good singles wrestler, but you also want to have the ability to tag.
Yeah.
So he comes out because Undertaker wants an apology of sorts from Stone Cold. Vince leaves with his cronies. The Undertaker he's out there with both belts. And Austin's like, if you want an apology or something, here's what I'm going to give you. And he gives him the finger.
Yeah.
But he has the Smoking Skull belt because he's got the rattlesnake inner lining, or the inner leather.
The back of the belt has that
rattlesnake pattern. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As far as I know, at that time, that belt actually replaced the bigger Winged Eagle belt, not the one that like Bret Hart had, but the one that would come after with the blue strap. I know that the Smoking Skull belt took the place of that belt as for the time that Austin had it. But I don't actually remember a proper date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tried to look for it. There was no like ceremony like here, Austin. Here, I thought there would have been. We present you with your belt.
Well, no, because at that time, who would have presented it?
Yeah, he was feuding with McMahon, right?
Yeah.
At this time, how far along was not long into his title reign?
If this was 98, he would have won the title from Shawn that WrestleMania. So he would have won it. If this was in August of 98, WrestleMania was around March, April of 98, so it was that long. It would have been that long.
How many title reigns did Austin have?
That I'm not sure.
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
Probably 4. Maybe less.
But they were pretty long.
Yeah.
That I can remember.
It might have even been 2. I could be totally wrong on this.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I can't give you a straight answer on that one.
I just know he was champion for a while because sales.
Yeah, he was the most over guy in the company. I mean, that whole Attitude Era was the Steve Austin era.
Yeah. He was Attitude.
Yeah.
He was Attitude. These two guys put on an incredible match. This is definitely after Owen broke his neck. Austin's neck.
Yeah, that happened at the SummerSlam before.
Mm-hmm. So
I think he was champion up until they did the whole running over thing. Right? Do I have my timelines mixed up here?
I don't know. I was young. Brother.
I was young too.
Fuck, I forgot what I was saying.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
But
no, yeah, this was an incredible match.
These guys,
nothing. I wouldn't expect any less from them here because I think that this was both at their peak.
I think that didn't Austin have to change his style because of the broken neck, but he adapted very well.
Yeah.
But this is definitely the peak of his popularity.
This was the peak of his popularity. I think this was also the peak of him as a character. Same with The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
Because from here he would go on to do the Ministry. And even the theme song he comes out to is the Ministry theme song. It's not his usual one.
All right. That's the one I have, right? The figure.
Yes.
That one was like $11 at one point.
The figure where he has like the cape.
The defining moments.
Yeah.
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 It was really cheap on Amazon at one point.
I think that was the following year's WrestleMania.
The year before
99.
that. The year before that, he beat Sid at.
That was 13.
Yeah, at WrestleMania 13.
Yeah.
The year before that.
Yeah.
That SummerSlam against Austin. I'm just referencing that because we were mentioning the landscape was so different.
Well, it's funny because that whole thing led to the events of, or that whole thing was built to lead to SummerSlam of that year, which is where Shawn cost him the title in the main event with Brett.
Mm-hmm.
And now you look here, no Brett, no Shawn.
Shawn was playing difficult?
No, I think he was gone for good here. I think this is when he retired.
He found God?
I think this was around that time, yeah. He messed up his back in a casket match where he did a back body drop onto the casket and that fucked him up really good.
That could do it.
Yeah, I mean I've done it. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. I've done it too. 3 times. One night. It was back and forth, but I think The Undertaker ultimately started taking over in this match. Eventually hitting a badass spot where he does a leg drop from the top rope to the outside and Austin's on the table. But we did have Austin countering some of Undertaker's high spots before that, like the rope climbing. You know, some of the moves that The Undertaker's known for. We had Austin kind of thwarting those and getting some momentum. But ultimately, I think The Undertaker was winning.
Yeah.
Austin.
I think Undertaker came out looking stronger here.
Yeah, because Austin definitely was cheating and cheated to win.
You didn't want Austin to look stronger than The Undertaker. Like you didn't want, you wanted both to be as strong. That way, there's some consequence when Austin beats The Undertaker. Like, I beat this guy that was that much stronger, so he comes out looking good, and they both come out looking good.
Yeah, I think Undertaker did come out looking good.
Yeah.
Even at the end of the match, he hands Stone Cold the belt respectfully.
Yeah.
So that kind of even makes you like The Undertaker, even though he lost even that much more.
Right.
I had an awesome time going back and watching SummerSlam 98. I want to continue doing this. If you're down to, watch old. I was thinking, I'm like, oh, Jesus, we can't watch them together because we're going to talk about them and then we're just going to shit on material pretty much because we're just going to kill material.
Well, we're gonna blow our load.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I want to do. Yeah. I say we watch them separately and then meet up and watch them. We both have the network.
Yeah.
I had an awesome time doing this again, Juice, recording.
Yeah, this was cool. We got to go over an old SummerSlam from 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of fun. Yeah. I love watching older shows.
Send me more cool Slammiversary stuff. Let's watch more old stuff.
Yeah.
I want to thank all you guys for joining us. Shout outs from Dusk Till Dawn. We're signing off. We've been going at it for an hour and a half. Thanks for dropping a comment. Thanks for joining me and Jesus. We're talking about SummerSlam 98. A couple of Slammiversary matches. Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
And, hey, look. Just one quick question, man.
Yeah.
Is Jeff really a juggalo?
We talked about Jeff being a juggalo. I think he is. He doesn't want to tell me. I'm not going to press the issue. He'll come out and tell me when he's ready.
Okay. That's a little concerning.
Yeah, but, you know. Like I said, thanks a lot, everyone, for joining me and Jesus. Come back soon, brother. Next week, 2 weeks from now. Like I said, it's an open door.
Yeah, man.
Check out my episode yesterday. I did not a shining a light on his career, but kind of just talking about Jim the Anvil Neidhart and going over a couple of his matches. So check that out, yesterday's episode. Check out the rewrites on SoundCloud, all those apps, iTunes. Yeah. Like I said, thanks a lot for joining us. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.